You know, Mr. Bernanke would certainly tell you that, you know, had they not have undertaken their extraordinary monetary policy, quantitative easing, printing money, you wouldn't have the positive growth that the US is seeing right now. As you correctly point out, though, the risk is certainly asset bubbles forming. Asia is particularly susceptible to this, given that hot money is attracted here because it's obviously a high growth region. The Singapore property market is a very obvious example of that. This is something that we need to watch out for.
So how closely should we be watching it? I mean, will those bubbles actually burst? Is it causing more trouble?
Well, I think, you know, one thing we can be fairly happy with is authorities, not just here in Singapore, but in lots of countries around the world, are becoming very adept in targeting specific asset bubbles with macro-prudential measures. I use the example of Singapore again. You know, they've raised stamp duty, among other things, to try and cool the property market. We've seen similar things in China as well.
Right, and as you mentioned there, the property market, just one example, but don't you think that this potentially could be creating long-term problems? Already with Japan, for instance, a lot of concerns that it's got incredibly high public debt. Can it be affording to put all this money into the economy?
Well, I think the first thing we really need to worry about is stimulating growth, you know, not just in Japan, but globally, and put growth on a sustainable path. Japan, for example, you know, this is a country that's been battling deflation since 1995. You've had no growth for the best part of 15 years. If one country can be justified in doubling the size of its monetary base with these earth-shattering monetary measures, then of course it is Japan.